Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today's video, we are going to talk about the new updates in Flow. I'm actually 10 days, around 8 days late for this video, so sorry about that. I actually was waiting to receive an email, but I didn't. So that's why I'm a little bit late. I didn't saw actually there was a new update. Silly me. But yeah, probably I think in the future for Flow, I have a recommendation. If someone from Flow is actually watching my videos, it would be great to actually have an announcement, like when I visit my project, for example, over here. First of all, it would be great to change the version number. So right now it's 4, and it's always actually saying 4. The only thing that it's changing it's when it was actually the new release. Actually, this is by today. It's the 10th of December, and this is 9 December. It was the last update, but of course this is 4.0. It's not longer. The version should be 4.0 that's, let's say, 10 or something like that, because since then there's like 10 versions that were released or something like that. And there will be like a box over here that it will show like there's a new update, and check out those cool new features. And then you can click and go to the community, for example, to see more about it. That would be actually the preferred way for me. And before we jump into this today update, there are like 20. It says there are like 20 new features, and they're actually a very like I would say essential new upgrades that were like from the some of them were from the beginning of the flow, so they're much appreciated. And then yeah, so before we are jumping to this and looking at today's new features of Flow, I just wanted to tell you, like, thank you everyone for joining the paid subscription of my channel. It means a lot to me, sorry. And actually the most of the money that I get as a revenue is actually from paid users and not from ads on YouTube. So thank you very much for that. And also for the Discord channel. If you haven't joined my Discord channel already, please do it. The link is down below. So let's jump into today's upgrade. They're actually hiring. I checked the careers page, and the most jobs are, I think, in Brazil and the States, and I think in India as well, as long as I remember. But yeah, they don't hire in Europe because I'm based in Europe. They are just discriminating Europe for some reason. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe in the future they will hire people from Europe as well. So let's go. So the first feature that we're going to talk is actually a new feature. It's called non-blocking actions. And essentially, the non-blocking actions, the idea of the non-blocking actions is that you have an action that will actually not block your other actions. So what that means is that if you have an action, and if it's a non-blocking action, it will actually not block your other actions. And the sorry, the demo that they are showing is actually an action of a backend code, and that is creating a document, and it's not waiting actually for this action to finish in order for execute the update page state. So sometimes you want this behavior, sometimes you don't. So non-blocking actions mean that all the actions will actually be non-blocking, which means that they will execute and it will not wait for this action to execute and then execute this one. And when you enable non-blocking action, you actually essentially blocking it, which means that it will first execute this action, then you wait, and then it will execute this action. So for some reason, if you want to get the variable of the new created document in this example, which was the chat messages, and you have the new chat, and you want to update it in the page state, then wait for this action to execute and then update the page state. This is the whole idea. And that's why this action is over here. And that was actually a main issue when you were using API calls, for example, because the API calls were executing before you get like the response, and you had to actually do some crazy things in order to like implement this. But now this actually not the case anymore. And I actually have a demo. I released a video which is for paid users right now only. But I did made a timer with the flow with the help of flow, and I'm actually using their non-blocking action. And the reason that I'm using the non-blocking action is that it is actually not blocking my other actions. Because what is the idea? The idea is that when you click on a button, you can actually see right here this action is non-blocking, and what that means is that when I click to start a timer, it will actually not block the other action. So the timer will keep on running. What I mean by that, if I click on this start button, it will start the timer, sorry, and it will not reflect on the other actions that I have. So for example, if I start this video and if I click on the start button, I will probably do it now, yeah, around this minute. So if I click on the start button, so there are two of me right now. So wait a second, and I'll show you what I mean. So when I click on the start button, if the action is blocking, it will actually start. So you can actually see it will actually start spinning, and it will not show you the pause button and the restart button. It will start spinning. So in order to avoid this, you need the action to be non-blocking action. So that's the idea. I hope you get what is the non-blocking action and how the non-blocking actions works. And yeah, let's continue to the next one. So we have actually a new update to the backend queries, and they say we made actually a big improvements in the backend queries, and it's much faster and easier to work with the backend queries. You can now copy and paste backend query across widgets, so you will never need to recreate the same query twice. So let's see how that looks like actually. So if I create a new page, and my new page will be the update, which will be which will be 1223 update. And I think I can have numbers, right? So it will be update 1233 or 3312, sorry, 3312. And then if I have a query over here, so let's say that I have, okay, so let's say I have a text over here, and let's say I have a container over here, and let's say that I have a query inside a container, and my query will be to query API call. Doesn't really matter what you're doing it, but let's query an API call. Let's query users. So I have this query, and now they say that you can copy and paste queries. So I can copy that query, and then I can paste it over here. So let's see. So I can paste it over here, right? So that works. And I think previously that was the case as well. I think so. I'm not really sure, but I think it was like the logic was working the same way before as well. So I really don't know what is new exactly in this case over here. But yeah, let me know, guys, if we are missing something. And then we have we're added a new option to move queries up to the any parent or ancestor of the widget. So that actually is great what that means is that if I go to my project and delete this query over here, and if I want to move, okay, if I want to say, okay, but I don't want it to be in the container, I want to be in the colon. So I should be able to click on this button over here and then move it to the colon, for example. And then the query will move to the colon. So I can click on the colon and now I can move it to the scaffold. Let's say I want to move it to the scaffold, and I now move it to the scaffold. And if I click on the scaffold, and I cannot no longer move it. So it's actually moving it up, but not down to the widget tree. But of course, you should be able to, let's say, cut the query and then paste it over here. I should be able to do that as well, and it should work. And it seems to that it's working. So that's great, actually. That's much appreciated. It's super fast to just move queries around. And then the second thing is that we're updating the UI, so it is actually showing you if you have any filters or ordering. Let's see that. I haven't actually saw that. I was working with queries a lot recently, but I haven't saw that. Probably I was not paying attention to it. So let's see. If I want to have list of documents, and let's say that I want to filter it by email, and I want the email to be equal to, and I have to click for some reason the this trash box in order to delete the value. Okay, so let's say I want this filter and I want to sort them by display name, and I want to be increasing. So let's confirm it. Yeah, that's actually, I haven't saw that, to be honest, but that's true. It's working, and it says indexes out of range. Sorry, not out of range, but not deployed. So let's try to deploy the indices. I don't know why it's wanting me to deploy the indices right now, but okay, let's deploy it. I don't have any more that error. And yeah, you're there, right. What about if we have multiple filters? So let's add one more filter over here. Let's add the display name, and I want display name to be equal to my name, which is this one, let's say, and confirm it. So it says you cannot order your query by field used in the, yeah. So it says that I cannot filter and order the same field. That's why I'm saying that using flow is just not practical. I mean, why they will actually preventing you for doing that? There is no reason for doing that, and also why flow it's asking me to deploy the indexes all over again. Probably because I'm using the filters. I'm guessing that I'm using the filters and it's trying to optimize my queries. I hope so. That's the case. But yeah, it's super weird to not be able to use the same field for filtering and for ordering. But that's the case with the flow. Sorry, not flow, but Firebase. I made a video about it. So yeah, I think that's everything that you need to know about backend queries. So let's move on. Okay, now we have this draft to save your progress. Our new draft feature automatically save your progress on API calls, custom code, generate children, and backend queries. Now you can easily return and continue your work right where you last stopped. Okay, that's great. I haven't saw that as well. For some reason, let me go to my project again. Let me try that. So they're saying that if I try to let's say add an API call, my demo, let's say, and this one will be, let's say, demo.com, save it. And then they're saying, I think they're saying that if I start to do something, let's say this is the new URL, this is the parameter that I want to use. So let's say data will be equal to string, let's say, and they say that changes will be saved automatically. and it says API calls progress on your API calls. Okay, so this is my progress on my API call. I haven't saved it, so I don't get the idea, probably because it's not saving it, at least for me. I don't know, guys, for you, but it's not saving for me. So if I exit this, my changes will not be saved for sure. So yeah, I don't know why this is not working for me. And then we have the custom code. So let's see. The custom code is much appreciated. I haven't saw that in the custom code as well. But let's see. So if I open, they say custom code, which I think means that like everything like custom function, custom action, or custom widget. So let's see my demo function, let's say. And then let's say I'll save it. I cannot save it because I'm not returning anything. Okay, so return empty string, and I'll save it. Great. And now it wants me to compile. I don't want to compile it actually. But what if I want to write some code here? So what if I want to say, okay, what if I want to say string name equals to my name, and then write something else like string my car is equal to this. Yeah, I don't see this message over here. It's supposed to show you a message like they showed over here. Restore and save changes. Maybe I'm not understanding something. Maybe I'm not understanding the logic of it. How this works, let me know in the comments actually below if I'm not understanding something or how this is exactly used, because of course if I leave this right now it will just say me that I have an unsaved changes. Do I want to discard them? And if I press yes, those changes will not be saved. So yeah, I'm not really sure how this works. At least for me, it's not, I think it's not working. So yeah, I'll delete this custom function. And then the last thing they say is that it's also optimizes for generated children and backend queries. I haven't saw that as well, to be honest. So if it's not working for API calls for me and for custom code, I would think that it's not working for generate children. But yeah, maybe I'm missing something. Let me know in the comments below how that really works. Great. So let's move on. So now they have rename and modify app state fields and constants. So that's actually was a great topic like 2 years ago or something like that. We had with the old community search. I remember I remember a post in the old community saying that a person was mad that he was not, a user was mad that he was not able to modify it or just change the name of the app state, rename the app state, sorry, and search actually from the community was telling him that it's actually a good thing that you are not supposed to rename the app states. But of course, uh, I don't see a reason why not to not renaming it. He was stating why you should not rename it, but after so many years, Phil actually decided that okay, it's time to actually have this feature now and give the permission for the users to rename the app states, and not only the renaming it, actually making an app state persistent by only editing. It's actually, I think, the most valuable thing. If they made it so I can make the app state persistent by editing it, it will be just enough for me. It will be fine for me, and not renaming it the name. So the name, it's not super important for me, but making the app state from persistent to not persistent is actually a feature that I wanted to have. Because if I make an app state and then I decided to make it a persistent after that, then I should be able to do it. And persistent, of course, for those of you who don't know what it is actually making a state. Uh, so uh, so it's like cached, so to say, and even if the app is closed, it will actually save the data inside the device, and it will open. When you open the app again, it will show the data. But if it's not persistent, if you close the app and then open it again, this value will be just equals to the default value, whatever the default value is. I'll not say no, because the default value, it's not no, it's something else, right? It's an empty string or a boolean or some empty location or something like that. So they made it so you can change the app state. That's great. And they made it for the constants as well. You can now rename the constants as well. So that's much appreciated. It's actually a core feature for Flow that I think a lot of people will appreciate, that you can do that now. Great. So let's move. And now we have the Boolean update. So we made it some changes to make it easier to work with Booleans. Much appreciated. And they said, we're added a new conditions flow, so you no longer need to select single condition or multiple conditions. Okay, so that makes sense actually. And let's see how that works. So let's say, for example, if I want this text to be conditionally visible, to have a conditional visibility, and if I click over here, and previously they say that you have a single condition and a multiple conditions. So now we have a single condition, and now we can select, like, let's say the constant. Where is the constant? I don't see it. Constants. Yeah, it's up here. But I think those are my constants, isn't it? Oh yeah, we have it. So we have this, for example, true equals to false. That means that this will never show. If I confirm it, this is one condition. But now actually you can add multiple conditions. So I can just click on that button over here and it will make multiple conditions. And what if I want to delete this condition? And it will go back to like multiple conditions. And if I confirm, I don't think I can confirm anymore for some reason, because it's a multiple condition and I have only one condition. Yeah, it's not working perfectly, because I think it should be, if I delete a condition, it should be back to a single condition. So if I able to, yeah, I'm able to save this. So this is, I think this is a bug in Flow. Like I said, it's converted to a multiple condition, but then of course, if you have a single, if you go back to a single condition, it should not be a multiple condition, because you cannot save it anymore. What about if I have like a default value? Yeah, it's not saving it for some reason. Yeah, so that's actually how you convert from a single condition to multiple condition. But like I said, you cannot convert from a multiple condition to a single condition. You have to copy your single condition. That's the workaround. You have to copy your single condition and then paste the single condition over here. But yeah, it's much appreciated that you can add actually multiple conditions over here. That was actually the case before, but they made it like more like user friendly, maybe, let's say. So you don't have to select from single or multiple conditions. You can just convert from single to a multiple condition, but you can convert it from vice versa. You can convert from multiple to single, like you saw. Great, and then we're added is set and not empty option render on list. Okay, that's interesting. So they're saying that if I choose a list, so if I go over here and let's say that I think I have in the app state, I have some list. So this is the app state, and this is a list of cities. And now we have this is set and not empty, and I can convert it. And I think I can use that actually. I don't need a condition for that. I think so. I can just use it straight over here. So just choose the list, which is this one, and then I think I should just be able to click on set and not empty, click confirm, and yeah, this will actually give me a boolean, and it will work. And you see that it's giving me a boolean because of this this icon over here. So that's much appreciated. There is a new section that is actually working great. Great. So what about and the third one is actually we automatically created a condition for variables, for conditional variables that don't have a Boolean operator or render. So what that means is that I think you now have the option to, if you have a Boolean, so let's say that I have a Boolean over here, let's say that a demo Boolean, and this will be a Boolean, and let's confirm it. And then if I click on this container, I want to toggle the Boolean from true to false or from false to true. So let's see if that will work. So if I go to page state, sorry, I haven't, yeah, so let me show you what I did here. I just added a page state, the Boolean demo, which will be false. And then on this container, if you click on the button, it will update the page state. And I have only one page state, which will be this one. And then I have this, yeah, so I have this toggle value. And like I said, this will toggle the value from true to false and from false to true, which is great actually. Previously, you had to actually had a condition here and just check if the value is true or false. And if it's true, make it false. If it's true, make it false. And if it's false, make it true. So that's much appreciated actually, this new logic over here. Great. So that's it with everything that you need to know with for Boolean. And now they added check where a component is used. Want to see where a component is used in your project, check select widget and then right click and then select find usages. Pro tip, you can also use command or control K to search for anything. Well, most things for now, state values, app calls, custom code, and find where it's been used by hitting this arrow in the search. So that's actually much appreciated. Let's try that. I was always wondering where I'm using, for example, a custom code, or if I'm using the custom code at all, because because right now, if I want to know if I'm using a custom code, I will actually delete it, and it will show you that it is actually in use. But if it's not in use, it will actually delete me a code that probably I want to use in the future. So that's why, for example, let's hope that I use this code. So if I try to delete it, yeah, now it's deleted. Great. So I have to find a code that I'm actually using. What about this one? Encoding URL. Let's try this one. Let's try to delete this one. Yeah, it's actually showing you that the function currently, let's try that again. The function is currently used in the page convert location. So, okay, let's try that. So if I click on this icon over here, what if I write the name of encode URL, which will be the custom function, and they say click on this button. So let's click on this button. Of course, it will not work in the custom code because it's overriding it. So I'll just have to write it over here. It seems that you cannot use it in a custom code. When you're opening custom code, you cannot use it because this is not going like in front of the custom code. So that's why you cannot use it. So let's try that. So if I click over here, yeah, they say you're using that over here. That's great actually, because if I click it, they say I'm using it over here, and indeed I'm using it. This is where I'm using it actually. That's great actually. That's much appreciated. And what about app states? So I think I have one called cities that I just used. I think cities. There's the app state called cities. And if I click this one, no, I'm not using it. What about this one? Yeah, I'm using it in my page parameter, and I'm using it also in this code over here when I just created the page. So if I click over it, yeah, I'm using it over here. You can see it over here. And that's great, actually. That's great. Now you can do it for custom code app states, and they said one more thing, which was okay, API calls. So I have an API call called users. So let's try that now. So if I write users, this is my API call, and if I click over here, I'm using it in two actions. And if I click on this action over here, you can see that I'm using it over here. That's great, actually. That's much appreciated, and it's very good. And yeah, I'm I'm actually speechless that it works like a charm. Yeah, except the thing that is actually not working in the code here. But yeah, let's move on. So the last things are other improvements. You can now unlink theme widgets properties like text icons, border radius, so they wouldn't be applied when the theme widget styling is applied. That's actually much appreciated, because if the text, for example, is applied, it for me it's like basically just duplicating the widget. So it's good. It's much appreciated that you can now unlink that or those values. And then we have another thing when it says when you rename page or component parameters values, it will now automatically update across widgets and actions. That's actually great. I haven't actually renamed parameters values in the component or in the page. I didn't notice this issue, but it's actually great. And then we're added a new fixed position options for drop downs that ensures all options are displayed below the widgets. I'm not sure what is this option actually about. So if I go to my page and if I add a drop down over here, let's try that. I'm not sure how that works actually. If I add a drop down over here, where's the drop down? Oh, it's drop down. It's over here. And let's say I want to define options. Let's say my options are defined from the app state. This will be my options. And they said that they included a new option, which is fix position. I cannot find a fixed position, to be honest. Oh, it's this one, sorry. So it says fixed position, display the drop-down options beneath the drop-down box. Okay, let's do that. I don't really know exactly how that works, but yeah, let me know in the comments if you want to just share how that works, or just share in my Discord channel a screenshot of it. It would be much appreciated. And then you can now preview raw text responses from API calls. So previewing a raw text responses, I'm not sure what they mean by raw text responses, because I'm guessing that if you just respond as a text, raw text, it should work. But I was thinking, okay, raw text probably is the HTML considered like a raw text. And I think the answer is no, because like if we write flow-to-flow.io, let's say, for example, and if I actually execute this, it should actually return me an HTML of the API, of the API code. But it's actually still returning no, and it's actually returning. Of course, it's returning a HTML result. Uh, but so I'm not sure if they're talking about only a text and not HTML. I was about to be super happy that they're going to return the HTML as well, because sometimes I need it. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not. That's not the case, and I still need to use my lovely Insomnia software in order to, or REST client, in order to execute those API calls. And so I don't have a test for uh, raw response of a text, so I can show you. And then we're added an option for switch style and checkbox list style. When the conditions are true, the widget will not be clickable. So we have the disable option. So that's great. I'll probably not show you that. It's just self-explanatory. And then we now provide a default name for selecting JSON paths. I'm not sure what they mean by default name. So let's try that. So I think they're saying that if I have like this response over here, and if I want to like add it to the JPath. So let's say I want to add the IDs. I still have to write a name over here. So I don't know exactly what they mean. Probably previously, I think you cannot. Sorry, I have to save that. Previously, you cannot save that, I think, and now you cannot save it still. So I don't know what they mean by a default name for selected JSON paths, to be honest. And then we have the deep link can now start with digits. Great, I didn't know that they was not able to start with digits. You no longer have to recheck your custom functions if they haven't made any significant change. Well, that's not working for me. Every time I log into my project, actually, it's asking me to check my custom functions over and over again. And this was at least yesterday and 2 days ago, and this is like every day, to be honest, for some reason. For me, this is not working. What about you guys? Is it working for you? For me, it's not working. And then we added this new page to see the status of the flow like services, and then it says next update in 1 minute. So it's actually updating, I think, every 1 minute. And then we have the status, custom domain hosting, flow, subdomain hosting, and then we have the overall uptime in the past 19 days, 30 days, 7 days, 24 hours. Great. So that's much appreciated. And then we're updated the design of the project dashboard. I haven't saw that. And then we are temporarily removed a swipeable stack and from the widget panel. So we're moving, and so we're doing improvements of that. That's because and they have and now we can use the Flow UI code in your Flutter project. So if you are not using Flow, or if you want to just use Flow for like design your app, you can now actually use Flow, design your app, and then use the package which is in the dev pub packages. And it says our new dev pub package, and the link is actually, it's not working because the link is actually going you to the pep dev package and not to the package that's supposed to go. The Flow has to fix this. And this is actually the link to pub dev packages. Again, it's like a generic link to the main page. So yeah, and then the last thing, it's a new updates and new features. Like we said, they have removed the swipeable stack because they're working on it to make it better. And then we have the callback actions can now take parameters, which is great, but this is still coming, right? Those features are not still here. And then we have pass a body and delete get request. That is great, actually, much appreciated for the get. I'm not using a delete. I think 99% of the time people are not using the delete one, but the get one is actually much appreciated and more as always. Great. So that is actually the everything that we had to speak today for the upgrade. Like I said, sorry that I was late, but thanks very much for watching the video. And if you appreciated the video and my time showing you those upgrades, please like the video so I know that you like it. And yeah, thank you very much. And before you go, actually, thanks for watching this video, but please help me to reach 4,000 subscribers. And when I reach 4,000 subscribers, I actually have a surprise for every single subscriber that I have. I will shuffle them and I will do a live session and I'll announce the winner. And what will be the winner? The winner should be a subscribe to the channel, and the uh, price is this one. It's a Flow swag, actually. I want to give to one of my subscribers. Like I said, it will be a live session when I reach 4,000 subscribers. And this Slack is actually have a t-shirt, the same that you see over here. It has stickers and it has a mug. So it's pretty good mug that you can drink your coffee or tea or whatever you like to drink from it. And like I said, I will give this to one of my subscribers. So please subscribe to the channel. And also, I'll do a live session. So you should be in the live session when I reach 4,000 subscribers. And I'll just pick from wherever who is subscribed. And it is in the live session. And I'll pick a winner. So he or she can immediately DM me the address, and I can send this Slack box. So please subscribe to the channel to have a chance to win this amazing Slack box. I just want to say that the paid membership for YouTube is now open, so you can be a paid member to my YouTube channel, which means a lot. And thank you very much for all the people who are right now paid members to the channel.